Unless you're a ghost. I think you'd better tell us who you are. Well, I tried.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce a fellow professional, Mr. Frank Kelly.
He's an actor.
And a very good one.
Maybe not, Mr. Dennison. They nailed me.
Though nothing to do with your performance, unfortunately, David has too good a memory.
Are you saying that Alex hired you to impersonate Lieutenant McElroy?
Yes, ma'am.
But why?
So very simple. For my little psychodrama's work, I needed to keep all of you here. Given the nature of the situation, I was sure someone would try to leave. I needed, what shall I call it? Official leverage.
Of course. We could walk out on you, but not on the cop.
That was the idea. And since Lieutenant McElroy was no longer among the living,
And since a real police officer would never cooperate.
I decided to hire a lookalike. Excuse me, David, an almost lookalike.
Does he know how much trouble is in it? Trouble? What trouble? Impersonating an officer is a felony.
He never said he was a police officer. I did.
That's a technicality.
If you're angry, David, blame me, Mr. Heller, you should be following instructions.
Excuse me, but how did you get into all this? I know it sounds crazy, but I went to an audition. An audition? Yeah. My agent said that Alex Dennison was looking for an actor. Who am I to say no to that?
Go on.
Okay. Well, I went to a rehearsal hall, and there were maybe 10 other guys. We all looked pretty much the same. And then Mr. Dennison interviewed me, and that was that. And a couple weeks later, I got a call back. And then there was 3 other guys. And then there was just me.
What happened when he told you what he wanted?
Thought he was crazy.
Accurate impression.
Tell them the rest, Frank.
Well, I never met Monica Wells. But like everybody else, I heard that she committed suicide. But then Mr. Dennison explained things to me, like how she died, and who killed her.
Did he know?
And of course he offered you money.
Yeah.
How much?
$10,000.
$10,000 for a one-day party? With that kind of money, I'd have had plastic surgery.
Okay, money was important. You guys know how it is. Actors have to scramble for jobs nowadays. I attended hard hat. I've been a bartender. I even drove a cab for a while. So when this came along,
You don't have to apologize, Frank.
look, no hard feelings, all right? Now I'm just gonna go because you don't need me.
No. No one leaves until we're finished.
And how are you going to keep us here? You don't even have your phony cop anymore.
Hey,
Right, and I pretty much had a belly full of this.
We all have, boy, but I think we should put up with it a bit longer.
What?
On one condition. Alex tells us why he's so all-fired positive that one of us killed Monica. I think that's your cue, Alex.
Frank, I'll need your help.
me. What do you want me to do?
Read McElroy again. We've been over this. Give them the case for suicide.
Okay. Well, there was no signs forced entering the apartment.
Correct. If she was killed by an intruder, how did he get in, and why wasn't anything stolen? The police found $1,000 in cash on the premises, and the thief would have taken it.
She knew her play was a flop.
So she was despondent.
She wrote a suicide note.
The concrete proof of her intentions.
After everybody had left the party, she had gone out into her bedroom and out to the terrace, and she
Say it.
she jumped.
In the words of the medical examiner's report, fall from a height. Case closed.
But not for you.
No one commits suicide because of bad reviews.
It wasn't the reviews. It was the end of a dream for her.
Alex, you have to admit that sometimes she was, well, erratic. She walked out on a performance. I had to go on for her. Don't you remember?
Yes, the police made quite a point of that. Monica Wells gets into an argument with the playwright just before a preview. She bolts from the theater, hails a
certain proof of something.
David, she was in love. She was struggling over whether or not to make a commitment. We fought, she ran out, but she came back. It was unprofessional, she admitted that, but it wasn't abnormal.
Alex, I've been listening very carefully, but I'm not hearing any evidence of murder.
She called me that night. She asked me to come over. Is that the behavior of a suicide?
Maybe it was a cry for help.
Then why did you lie to her there in the middle of a sentence?
Because she changed her mind and hung up. Alex, the woman was under stress. She wasn't rational.
She was rational enough to make herself a pot of tea. I saw it on the table in the study.
That's your evidence? A pot of tea?
She was starting a new life, David. She had everything to live for. You all saw her at the party. Was that a woman